Alright, well, I'm ready to start removing the hair from my hide. There it is in the bucket. It's been sitting there for 7 days. Only trick to this during the liming or bucking stage is you need to keep it from freezing, and ideally you want to keep it below 70 degrees or it can start to stink and rot. I'm going to pull that out of there and get it set up on my beam here. Which is just an old piece of PVC pipe that I found laying on the side of the road. There's the inside where the flesh is. And there's the outside where the hair is. But you can see after sitting in that lime solution for 7 days, this hair peels right off and it leaves bare skin underneath. What I'm going to do is just take something smooth like a stick and scrape that hair off without damaging the grain underneath. And if you just take it easy, and if this has soaked and that hair comes off real easy, you should be able to get that hair off with something soft and smooth without damaging the grain, because we are making leather with the grain on. So I'm going to go ahead and get the hair off of this, but you can see it peels off pretty easy. And I'll get back to you. Don't get any of that lime solution on you or on your clothes. I'm wearing nitrile gloves and a raincoat to keep it from getting on my clothing on my arms. And then also I have I just cut the bottom out of a black plastic garbage bag to go over my body as an apron. That's all you really need. Alright, it's day 2 of the dehairing process of this deer hide. I started taking the hair off yesterday, and it got to the point where the hair was just breaking instead of sloughing off. So I put it back in the lime solution for another day. And now I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the hair off of it. I'll post a little picture showing the skin and how that hair was breaking off, so you can get a good look at that. You want that skin, you want that hair to come off nice and easy. was told it's actually best to push the hair off with the lay of the hair. So I'm going to go ahead and do it like that. You can see it comes off real easy. The only problem I'm having is when I get down to the white hair where the skin is thinner, which is odd. The little hairs just start breaking off just above the surface of the skin. Alright, so I was using this smoothed out stick to take this hair off, and it was working really good. It was taking off big long swipes. But for some reason, whenever I get to the thinner skin around the legs, where the short fur is, or the short hair is, and around the belly, where the white hair is, it seems to be really tough to get off. And this stick is just breaking the hairs off close to the skin. So what I started doing is using the back side of my machete and just slowing down, and without putting very much pressure, just slowly working those hairs out. And that's how I'm going to finish it out for these tough sections of hair. It's just basically I'm taking about a ½ inch strip at a time and working it all the way down and off, rather than have all these small little hairs sticking up later to deal with. And once I get the majority of this hair off, I think I'm going to mix up another lime solution, a fresh lime solution, and let it soak for a few more days, and then maybe I can go back and easily remove those broken hairs. I'm not really sure. Like I said, this is the first time I've done this, but I guess that's just one of the things you learn as you do this, you know. Not everything is the way somebody tells you it will be, and not everything is the way it is that you read from a book. You have to just do this stuff and figure it out on your own, really. You can use the books and you can use online resources and stuff, but when it comes down to it, you just have to do it, because every situation is different, obviously. Alright, well, I've been at this getting this hair off of this hide for a good 3 hours. I have taken a couple breaks, so I would guess it's taken me 3 hours to get the hair off. Maybe a little less than that, but I got most of the hair off. There were a few brittle hairs that broke off near the skin, so I just went around and got all the main hair off. All you see there is loose hair that just needs to be washed off. And then I flipped it over and I started taking the membrane off, and you should be able to see a difference there. This is the area that has had the membrane taken off, and this area has yet to be taken off. And this is the flesh side of the deer. Once you get the hair off, you want to flip it over and cushion it with a towel or something, and take a dull knife. You don't want this to be able to cut you or the skin, but just take a dull knife and gently but roughly scrape that gooey membrane off of there. And being as this is the first time I've done this, it's hard for me to tell where the membrane ends and the skin begins, but as I went through it, you can kind of tell, because it'll be real gooey and slimy, and once you get under it, it starts having more of a solid, not so gooey feeling. Well, there it is. I started this at about 4 in the afternoon, and it is now 11 at night. So that's 7 hours to remove the hair and remove the pigment on the hair side, and to remove the membrane on the flesh side. But there it is. This is where my bullet hole was. And it appears that there is still a little bit of membrane left on the flesh side. But I guess that can be taken off later. That's the flesh side. And that's the hair side. Now I just need to rinse this off for about 3 days. I'm going to let it rinse really good in a creek to get all that lime out of it, or as much as that lime as possible. And it'll be ready for the bark. Ready for the bark liquor, ready to start taking tannins. I figured I'd just show you that, and give you an idea of how long it took me. I think the reason it took so long to get the hair off and the membrane is because the lime solution I used wasn't effective. It did a good job of loosening up the hair along the back and the neck, but all of the belly hair and leg hair was just a nightmare to get off. And then also I had the same issue with the membrane. The area along the back, the membrane came off fairly easy, but every time I got near the belly or the legs, it was just a bear.